Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to go over my whole VA rating, like getting it processed, right? So I'm officially retired from the Air Force this month in December. And the day before, let me see, the day before. Uh, no, oh wait, it could have been a day before, but it was. So actually, no, okay. I got a lot of emails from AFPC, so Air Force Personnel Center, throughout the time I decided to retire, right? So I got the retirement orders, and then I want to say about 4 months out, I started dealing with the DD-214, right, which is what shows you your military service. And I would say 2 weeks out, they sent me an email saying this is where you need to go to find your DD-214. And then the day of, I think it was like 2 a.m., they sent me an email saying, get your DD-214. That's how you do it again. So you'll get a lot of emails towards the end of your time in the military hopefully from your processing center. But in the Air Force, AFPC, they were on it. And even when I had a question about my DD-214, they sent me a response that day. Like, we were going back and forth through email. So they have obviously a team dedicated for that whole process, because they know veterans need their DD-214 and it's the most important paperwork for them. So anyways, so that day that I was officially retired, effective date, I went onto AFPC, and I still had my CAC card. So that's the card you use to log on to websites or whatever, and just put in your PIN. So some places I've heard that when you retire, they take your CAC from you, or when you get out the Air Force, they take your, or military, whatever, they take your CAC from you. But mine wasn't taken. Okay. I kept that thing. So I did ask what I needed to do when I was effectively retired. What should I do with this CAC? And the girl that was out processing told me just come back to a DEERS location and give them your CAC card, and then you'll get a retiree card or whatever. That is specifically for retirees. Now, when you're a veteran, you can go to the VA and get a veteran ID. Okay, and I also did that too. But anyway, so on my day official retirement, I went and got my DD-214, and I saved some copies, and I think I have some copies on my phone and on my computer, right? And then I knew that was going to start a process for me, because now I need to get a retiree ID from the military or a DEER center. Now I need to get my VA ID to show that I'm a veteran. And I also want to get my VA disability rating, right? So I had my BDD, I don't know what that means, but that claim that you're supposed to use whenever you're 6 months out from getting out the military is called a BDD. My VSO, she went ahead and I want to say she submitted that to the VA or through va.gov or whatever in July, right? And I had spoke with her in June, and then we went back and forth probably about 4 times about what exactly I am going to claim. And she really helped me with ideas and going through my medical information, and just helped me do what I'm supposed to do. And she did her job. Like, what I will say is I did have to stay up on top of her when it came to, are you going to submit my claim? I probably had to contact her at least 4 times after we were done about what I wanted to claim. And it did take her a while. Now, this lady did go on leave, and she is the only VSO for that area that I was in. So of course I'm gonna give her leeway, because there's lots of people getting out, there's lots of people retiring, there's lots of people that need help. So I was a little anxious about that. But when my last time contacting her, which was my 4th time, she got up on it, and I got an email from the VA saying you had a claim submitted on this day, right? So once that happened, I started getting emails saying we are going to do your CMP. So I got emails from different agencies. So mainly the VES did my CMP exams, like all of my CMP exams. So they were pretty thorough with those. So I probably had my first CMP exam, I want to say the 31st of July, and then they stopped around the 15th of September. So I had about 2.5 months of CMP exams. Okay, And if you look at some of my other videos, you'll see what I went through and what I experienced in those exams. So from September to December, it's silence. Like you don't get nothing. Okay? There's like no reason for me. There was no reason to check on VA. There's no reason to contact your VSO, because your VSO really is only there at that time to submit your claim, your BDD claim, or whatever type of claim you decide to submit to the VA. And they can't expedite your rater from giving you your rating, right? And at that time, I had to wait because I had to get my DD-214 to show that I was officially out the military. So going back to then, so I got my DD-214, and then I actually submitted it. Let me see what day that was. I submitted it the next day because I had some stuff going on that day, right? So I did not really know how to submit it, so I went to va.gov, and I also downloaded the VA app. And this is something you should do. Download the VA app on your mobile device, right? And I could not find anywhere where I needed to upload my DD-214. So I Googled it, and I Googled DD-214 VA upload, and I found this site, which is actually a part of va.gov, and I was so like kind of scared or nervous about it, but I did it anyways because I couldn't find it on va.gov, or I couldn't upload it to my profile, whatever. So there was a site called Quick Submit. It's actually a third-party vendor that will upload documents to the VA for you. So this is an official site, and I had to log in with my login ID. So that is kind of what calmed my heart about, like, is this some scamming ass shit, you know? So I submitted that on a Saturday. Come Monday, I'm on it. I called the VA. And it was, I'm telling you, like, it might have rang 3 times and someone picked up for me. Called the VA, and I was like, hey, I just submitted my DD-214. Can you see if it's in the system to show that I'm, you know, a veteran now and not active duty? And she could not find it. And I told her, I submitted it through Quick Submit. Have you ever heard of that before? And she's like, yeah, most people upload it through va.gov, through their profile, but I've heard people do it through Quick Submit. So just give us a call later on this week to see if it's in there. And I was like, okay. So at least this lady working for the VA knew what Quick Submit was. So then I went back to my email to show that I had submitted it through Quick Submit, and I checked the status, and it was still processing. So I was like, okay, cool. So I want to say, so that was, yeah. So the next day, a Tuesday, I get these emails from the VA talking about, we have benefit letters for you, basically, to show that you are now a veteran, you served honorably, these are your service dates. And then for my VA claims history, it was showing that it was still processing, that they were working on the notification process, right? So there's 5 steps to the VA claim process. You'll be in the evidence step for a very long time. That's your VA rater, looking through your medical records, looking through your evidence, and rating what you have going on. So anyway, so that was the 5th, and then, which was a Tuesday, and then I didn't hear anything from the VA. I just kept checking my VA app, and I want to say I got my rating. I saw it on the 9th. So really, that was about a week from the time that it actually, not even a week. It was less than a week from the time that it got uploaded on VA into my profile that I got my rating. Now, I had a friend who did retire in July of 2023, and he had told me he got his rating within a week too. So I was already expecting it to come within a week, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. So I didn't get notification through email. I just happened to be on va.gov, on the app, on the VA app, and I saw my disability rating. And when I saw that, I was like, praise God, okay? And then I wasn't able to see how each ailment or disability was rated because the site was really down, like it was down for troubleshooting or something. But I could see my rating. And then I want to say the next day, I was able to see it in the evening time, and it broke down every rating and how the and why. I want to say how and why the rater rated it. So this is the thing. So once you get your VA disability like percentage. You can click on the information, the claims history, and you can see how or what each claim was rated. Then you can go into your benefits letter, VA letters situation corner of the va.gov or VA app, and you can go in there and find your benefit letter for your VA claim. That is what breaks down what was rated and why it was rated, because they'll put a little blurb underneath each claim, like the dates that you experienced something, why it was rated at a certain percentage, and what it would take to get to a higher percentage if you had these elements, if you had these issues of that element X, Y, and Z, basically. So that memo was very detailed. It's a very long memo, detailing, I guess long based on how many claims you put in, but for me it was a very long memo detailing each claim. Now, I did have some claims that were joined together, because when I counted what got rated, it didn't equal the amount of claims that my VSO input into the system. But it does tell you in the information part of that benefits letter that they were combined. Because I was reading through everything. I wanted to know what was the whole process, and it's very thorough. I will tell you that it's very thorough. So if your medical evidence, your medical records from the military, or whatever you were submitting from a primary care manager that's a civilian, you want that to be thorough, because they're going to read through it and they need to document it. So that in that letter, it tells me when I'm going to get paid and how much based on my disability rating. So I just want to tell you that I got the rating and how you would go about doing it to get your rating too once you're officially out the military, and you got your DD-214 in your hand or virtually in your hand too. One last thing. So I did go to the VA to get my VA ID. So since I submitted my DD-214 online, I wanted to get VA healthcare too, because I'm no longer on TRICARE. I'm retired. You know, I'm a veteran. I should be entitled to VA healthcare. Now, I learned everyone's not entitled to VA healthcare if you make X amount of money, like if you make too much money. So they'll ask you some tax questions. They'll ask you your dependency status, your marital status, and then it'll determine if you are eligible. So I did submit that on the 2nd of December. And I want to say it was the very next day that I got approved, even over the weekend. So, and I was surprised because once you submit it, it says we'll give you we'll tell you whether or not you got approved within 10 days. So I was expecting 10 days later to get the approval letter in the mail, but I just stayed up on va.gov, which is very useful, very detailed. You can see something called My Health eVet, which is the information or the site, a version or a shoot off the site of va.gov that helps you with all your medical stuff, like trying to sign up for an appointment or wanting to get stuff from the pharmacy. Like that's your first stop help, first stop spot. Listen, I'm not slow, okay? That's where you need to go for your VA medical stuff, is that My Health eVet. So once I got a benefit letter showing that I was approved on the va.gov site, that My Health eVet was open to me, because before it wasn't open to me, so I did not know to explore it. I couldn't find anything underneath there because I wasn't eligible. But now I'm a veteran, I'm eligible, and I actually have put in some information so I can get an appointment scheduled. So I'm waiting for those people, the VA, to call me so I can get an appointment seen, or I can get seen with a provider. Oh yeah, and then so getting a VA ID. So I had submitted an online application to get that VA ID, and then it says either you can submit a photo of yourself online or go to your local VA clinic, right? So I decided to go to my local VA clinic, but I did call them first because I wanted to know if I needed an appointment or not. They said no. So the next day I drove down there and went into the VA clinic, and it was chaos. I had never been in a VA clinic in my life. The people there are very helpful, but you can tell there's people that are very demanding, other veterans that are very demanding, that have lots of questions. They're trying to be patient, or either they're not trying to be patient. Either way, it was fairly easy for me to to take a picture, basically. So I go there, I sign in, I say I want my VA ID. She verifies I'm eligible for VA healthcare, even though I already knew I was because I applied online, but she had to verify it. Then I wait, and then I go to a lady who's ready to take my picture, right? So she's putting in my information off the information I put on form when I signed in. And she's like, do you want to show your affiliation for what military service you were a part of on your ID? And I said, yes. And then she takes a picture. Now, I will tell you, she says, we will send your VA ID to your address. I'm thinking I'm going to get the VA ID, but I didn't, right? So, I get it probably within less than a week of that time that I took that picture. And it's a crappy picture. Okay? You can barely tell it's me, but I know it's me because of the smile, right? But it's just a regular ID that you will use when you go to your VA appointments to show that you are a veteran, that you are entitled to VA healthcare. So anyway, so that was the whole process of me getting my VA claim, getting my DD-214, signing up for VA health care, getting a VA ID. Let me know if you have any questions, and God bless and Godspeed. And if you're waiting for your VA rating, be patient. Be patient. Pray to Jesus, pray to whoever, and just know that everything will work out in your favor, period.